Welcome everyone to Rare Conversations. This is the first podcast we've done in a while, and we're out here in Las Tunas at Casa Rincón De Luna with the developers, owners, and locals of CasaBaja. We've got Ricardo and Sam. Ricardo we like to call Chino. And these guys have been building houses here. They've been in the community between 5 and 10 years. They've been building houses now with CasaBaja on their own, not building for other people, probably about 3-4 years now?
4 years. 2019 we started, and our first house was finished 2020.
So this is one of their homes that they've recently finished. There's another one next door to us that they've actually finished, Casa Estrella. They've done multiple homes in the Las Tunas, Ep.11 region of Todos Santos. I know that Chino has built homes in other locations, some rammed earth stuff in La Posa, Pescadero, and they're also doing a current project. But their homes are really beautiful. These two are available. Estrella and Rincon de Luna are available right now on the market, and they've sold all the others that they have built. We're going to talk a little bit about CasaBaja, how you guys got started, the origin, kind of what you saw as your creation.
It really goes back to a night out. Sam and I used to go mountain biking, and it really started everything with a friendship. We became good friends mountain biking. We went out for a night, a few beers, and we just started talking about lifestyle and business and what we thought was the thing to do for us in the area, and we were both in tune. So we started exploring a little bit more what we could do together, and continued the friendship and build CasaBaja.
I failed to mention, I wanted to say, Tyson Gargas is also with us. He's the listing agent. He's with Rare. He's the listing agent of the house, and he's also pretty friendly with both these guys. I also want to thank both of you. We do our podcasts. We do a lot of them in English. We do some in Spanish, but thank you guys for doing it in English today. I appreciate it, and I think those that are tuning in appreciate it as well. I know there's some things about this particular house and some things in general about your building styles and what you kind of like to incorporate, kind of the native materials. And I know, Chino, a lot of your background is you've got kind of a carpentry shop as well, and you do a lot of the woodwork here. Do you want to touch a little bit on, specifically to deal with Casa Rincón de Luna, with the woodwork and where that creation and what you thought about with that?
Well, Casa Luna it's a very special project to us. It's a project that we think it enhances the lifestyle in Baja. It gives you all this outdoor space, but also gives you an opportunity to be a little introspective, which is, I think, something we all share and we all like about the area. And so yeah, I think that's the concept of the house, like finding these windows between introspection and also being open to the nature.
So I if you go online and take a look at the house of either House Estrella or Rincon, you can see it's the woodwork. I think we're dealing with a lot of Perota wood. Yes. We're outside right now in front of the pool, in front of the house, and the Palo de Arco woodwork, the woodwork inside the house, it's actually extraordinary, and I think it's amazing when you think of most of the building down here in Baja California Sur, that it revolves around concrete and hueso and all that. The amount of woodwork and the amount of carpentry that has gone internally and in different areas of the house and the aesthetic appeal of that woodwork is just fantastic. And I highlight that because I think it's one of the features of the house. Now I'm going to switch gears here for a sec. I've had the privilege of selling. I think it was 4 other houses of yours in the area, and they've all, like, the evolution of your style, the evolution of what you guys have been doing. And I know both of you are part of the design and part of the building part. I know that mostly when it comes to the business aspect of it, we're dealing with Sam, but he'll always say, no, Chino makes that decision. I don't know if he's kidding me or not. But do you want to talk about kind of the relationship that you guys have to the project and kind of what your relationship is when you go into a design of a house, what you're thinking about for that particular house to reflect the neighborhood?
So even though it sounds like we're two people, I think that Chino and I are always talking and have had conversations daily, you know. So I think that we're very aligned, you know, in regards to, even from the beginning. The conversation that we had at the beginning was more of a conversation of what we want to accomplish, how do we want to accomplish it, and also how that had to do with us, with our lifestyle, how it meshed, you know. So we are very meshed, but of course, as a business, we have to separate, no. For sure, Chino has he has the architectural background. He is the builder, no, and that is his talent, and that's really I believe that my job in a certain way is to enable that, no, to let Chino do his thing, no, do his magic. So I do think I am involved, but I think it's more involved in the aspect of kind of the features of the house, the functionality of the house, what we want the house when the buyer comes to the house, kind of how does that house benefit their lifestyle? You know, how they can actually take advantage of everything that's here in Baja. Chino and I, as you said, are locals from here. We live here, no, so this is our community. So in some way, many times we build the way that we would like to live, or we build with the amenities that we would like to see, or the ones that we hear from the people that are around us, our friends, know that when you're here in Baja, there is a certain lifestyle that you have. So that's where I think I partake a little bit, no? But when it comes to, I do, and I'll let Chino talk a little bit more about it, I am aware that we want to bring in local materials, local subcontractors, and that is one of our goals. But I'll let Chino talk a little bit more about the materials and the materials in Baja.
Well, going back to your question, Rick, and then coming to what you just said, Sam, I think creativity comes in many different forms and ways, and we're both very creative in our own way, and we've both meshed our creativity to make what CasaBaja is. We both take part on every decision. That's why Sam tells you that, because we always like to talk things together and come to the decision together. And it's not that he takes decisions or I take decisions. It's a partnership. And so I think both our backgrounds and our ways of doing things have meshed in a really great way that allows us to think in the customer, not just the company itself. And we're always trying to get feedback from myself, from Sam, from my wife, from you guys, from friends, from other people, just to see how we can deliver a better product, a product that's more appealing to the lifestyle here in Todos Santos.
So I'd like to touch a little bit because both these gentlemen are pretty humble individuals. Just to get them to do this podcast, it took a couple of years. So I wanted to just say a couple of things about feedback. Chino and Sam both mentioned they try and listen to what people want. Their first homes, we had told them, what do you think we need to do for our next home? We kept saying, maybe you should put in a pool, maybe. And here we have 2 homes with 2 pools. It's just proof that they actually listen to what people are saying. I also would like to bring out, I've spoken and I've interviewed and I've had meetings with a lot of different developers from all different areas. And the idea of working with local developers, local builders who are part of the community. It's such a difference for me as a broker and part, been down here for over 20 years, that to see to work with people who have a vested interest in the community. And I'll just mention and say that, Chino's wife, Natalie, she's got a school. She runs a school in the area. I think it goes up to middle school. Is that correct?
It's just kindergarten. It's
I'm sorry, to kindergarten. But, she's running a school. And just for everyone out there, just to let you know, Chino's got a family here. Sam is single, so I'm not saying I can't say he's on the market, but he is a single man, and both you guys are contributing members of the community. Like before we started this podcast, we were talking about the basketball team that they're on, and they're building benches in the area where they play basketball down at the center. That they're actually putting in wooden benches so people could sit on. So, I mean, it's really nice when you have that attribute, when you're dealing with people who know what's going on here. You're well versed in the PDU. You're well versed on what goes on locally. And to me, and I think Tyson can add on this, it really makes it like someone who's knowledgeable and is just not building and saying, here's your money. Okay, now I'm off to my next project. You guys are here and your next project's going to be here. So Tyson, I don't know if you'd like to kind of,
Yeah, I think that does make a difference, and you can see it in the build. You really notice when someone kind of lives here as a member of the community, loves things about the Baja lifestyle, loves where they live, and that kind of reflects in each of the homes that you guys have put out so far. It's one of the things that people say when they walk into the house. So I wanted to touch on also, because I know we've both discussed this in the past, but I just want everyone to hear, because it's always a question that I'm interested in, is what brought you guys down to Baja? Like, what made you guys make the move from the mainland to Baja, and then what brought you to Todos Santos specifically, and maybe talk about some things that you like about the area, because that's always interesting. That's always one of the first questions I like to ask people is why you're here and what you like about this area, because everyone, maybe there's a unifying thread, but everyone has certain things that are that appeal to them about this area.
Do you want to start, Sam?
Sure. Well, I guess my story reflects. It's similar to many people's story about they don't actually know how they got here, but suddenly they're here. No, that kind of happened. That happened to me at one point. I was living and working in the United States. I'd lived in Chicago for about 10 years. I went originally to the United States because I was very interested in the relationship between the United States and Mexico. I was born and raised in Mexico City, but I ultimately wanted to come back home. Wanted to come back to Mexico. But I didn't want to come to Mexico City. So then I ended up going to Cabo to visit some friends that were doing some development. And I ended up coming here to Todos Santos. And Todos Santos grabbed me. I mean, I didn't know, I wasn't sure exactly how, but then suddenly it was like, you know what, this place has something. To your point about what you're saying, that we do live in the area, and we do build based on us being in the area and what we want. I one of the things I fell in love with, to your point, that you say that we're always trying to get people involved in the community. I think that is a very Todos Santos thing. That's very from the area. I remember when I got here, it's amazing how much people will welcome you, will help you out, will be like, okay, well, how do you get this? Or well, this and that. No, it is, and people will adopt you. I think because everybody goes through the same process. So for me, that's how I got here. I always wanted. I'd invested in real estate before, and I always wanted to do that here. And then, as Chino already mentioned, we met and we started talking, and we kind of aligned, and that's what I wanted to do, and also the immense opportunity of doing things here right. I think, at least as we want to do them. I think there's many markets and other places that kind of, it's almost predetermined about what you have to do and kind of the scope of things. And that's where it becomes very, very about, okay, if I build this is how much I get and so forth. And for us, it's not about that. I've never seen business in any shape, way, or form about that. The business is about money. Of course it is. No, that's why it's formed. But my success, I don't think is ever, and I don't has ever been based on numbers. No, it really has to do with creating a team. No, bringing a community together. No, focusing on a goal, and getting there. No, I feel that in some way everything else takes care of itself if you have your core values set in place. And I think that our core values do represent what Todos Santos represents. So it's kind of easy to have these core values. So I think that for me, Todos Santos fits me in many ways. And of course, everything that it has to offer, from the outdoors, the beach, the peninsula, and everything else that I guess we'll talk about a little bit more now. But
Chino, yeah, what we've talked about it before, but it's I just want to hear kind of the things that really like drew you to this area, and specifically to Todos Santos, to this region.
It was 100% the lifestyle, right? Like I traveled in my younger years. I lived in Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, London, Canada. And when I came to work to Cabo San Lucas and saw Todos Santos, I was just very attracted to it. Me and my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, came to check it out and saw ourselves living here, enjoying the lifestyle. Me loving surfing, I thought it was a great place to live, to surf, to raise my kids, and to have a down-to-earth and calm life with my family. Yeah. And so this was 10 years ago. Todos Santos was a very different place back then. It was a lot slower, but it still offers that beauty and that lifestyle and that community sense. And local people here are just awesome. I really love the integration we can make with them, and how welcoming they are to us foreigners. Even though we're Mexicans, I feel very welcomed by the real locals, and I do want to be a part of their culture and a proponent of better things to come in town. Right. And so yeah, that's pretty much the story.
Yeah, no, that's always interesting. It's always great to hear, from both of you guys, why specifically this region, because that's something, when you can choose so many beautiful areas. Mexico's got so much to offer, but this region specifically, when you've got the ocean, when you've got the desert, when you've got the mountains, and it all kind of culminates, right here in this region, and we have water, we have things available to us that, I think makes this place really, really special. So it's great to hear that.
I think it's great when what I hear when you could combine the integrity with lifestyle and continue on with, and then put both of those facets into a business opportunity. It comes out in the final product. I remember when Chino came over from Guadalajara, and I think the first time that I didn't know him, but I knew who he was just from being in Surf at La Pastora. And I'm like, who's the skinny guy, but just killing it out there, And I think Sam and Chino have spoken about where they've lived, and that's representative of who were, kind of the people that have come into the community. They have lived all over the world and chose the Todos Santos area as home base. And I think that says a lot about the area. Even Tyson lived in, New Zealand, California. Chino mentioned that he's lived all over the place. You can even hear it in Sam's accent. You lived in London for a while, right? So I mean, to choose Todos Santos, I think it says something about the area and how you guys have adapted so quickly to the lifestyle and to incorporate it into your product is pretty nice to see over the years how you've taken to that. Guys, I know we've touched on a few things about community, about build. Did you want to speak about, since this is a podcast and we're gathering around real estate, did you guys want to talk about how you guys are seeing the market from a developer perspective and what you're kind of seeing? I know the sales of houses, the kind of, what the spec home industry looks like.
I see the market as a really good market, and I think that we saw a couple of very strange years, past couple of years, where the market was just booming. We all like that business-wise, but now the market has slowed down a little bit, which I like. I think it's better for the community to be a little bit slower, to build things in a better way, to keep away also people just wanting to make a buck. And really having here the people who want to invest in the community, spend time here, be part of the community. So I think it's a positive, slow or downsize in the booming we were having. But I do see the market maintaining, and I do see people enjoying the lifestyle and wanting to come to live in Todos Santos. And hopefully these people can come and bring in contribute to the community.
Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I guess we're all a little bit confused about the last 2-3 years, no? I mean, because there was a pandemic, something that has never happened, I guess, worldwide, no? So it did have an impact not only on this market, but had an impact all over the world. The market is what I think is solidifying itself, no? It's starting to have a personality, no? It's starting to have a trait, no? It's starting to have certain characteristics. I think that over the last 2 years of the pandemic, it was just, we weren't exactly sure what was happening and houses were popping up. But I think now we're defining ourselves as a market, and I think it's making us better. I think the market will make us better now. It's going to make us do better products. It's going to make us have to work better. But it's also, that effect kind of goes through everybody around, no? I mean, it goes to not only ourselves, but us building, but it goes to you as realtors. It goes to people that do property management. So the fact that the market has slowed down a little bit, I think, to Chino's point, I think it's a really, really good thing that the market is just going to get better. So I'm very excited about this market. All markets go up and down, no? They all fluctuate. I don't think there's ever been a market that hasn't fluctuated. And that's just part of it. No, for us, we want to remain consistent, focused on our core values, and just keep on doing what we're doing, because we really believe that this is a market that will be available for a long time still. And we just really want to focus on making it a really good market, no, on really, really good products, no, making Todos Santos, all of Todos Santos in itself, a really, really attractive place, not only for people to come by, but once you're already living here, no, once you live here, for us as a community, that, to Chino's point, that we're contributing, the people that are coming to Todos Santos are becoming part of the community. We're making this community grow better. No?
And to Sam's point, by us trying to be better with what we do and putting more effort and trying to improve our quality, our designs, our construction process, we want to set a precedent so we can kind of contribute to the market and set a precedent on how things can be done or should be done in the area, and that way we can keep Todos Santos beautiful and with a good quality of living for the locals and the new people coming in.
Well, I can say this. I think it's really important. Like, you have two builders, you have two developers that live here, that I've had the privilege of seeing them sell, have sold houses on their behalf. I've had a business relationship and a friendship with both of them, and they stand by their product. They're here, so they're not looking to, when they sell a house, they stand by it. They have to be out to dinner with the person that bought their house. They'll see them out in public. They'll see them out, and they, it's nice that integrity transfers over. It's real, and you just don't, you don't see that all the time. For me as a broker, and I won't speak for Tyson, but as an agent / broker, I think that, like, when you have that, when you know that you have something to stand behind and a product like that, I think it's so important. And I think, you should go online, take a look. Again, these two Las Tunas houses, Rincon de Luna, Estrella, go online and take a look, and let's support some local builders, and a product that as is built on integrity, lifestyle.
Okay, one other thing I think is really important, and it just kind of touches back on what Richie was saying, like for me as an agent, why it's a pleasure to list homes like this and list homes that I really believe in, and you can walk in and you can be really proud, is I want you guys to kind of speak about CasaBaja, what you guys do, and what sets you guys apart, because there's a lot of building obviously going on in Todos Santos. People have a lot of different sort of styles to choose from and kind of different looks of homes. But I mean, I know how I feel about it, but I'd like to hear from you guys what sets CasaBaja apart as far as the style, infusing traditional and Mexican, or traditional Mexican elements, modern, the materials, kind of where the materials come from, and just kind of the way you guys go about it.
Well, it's like you say, Richie, in Rare, we get why you're here, right? Like we're part of the community. We live here. We understand the lifestyle, what people want to be living in the area, and we focus our projects a lot in that. We want to make simple projects, simple architecture, nothing too complex, because I think it's a simple lifestyle that we want to be living in Todos Santos. Yep. We don't want to be, it's not a show-off market, right? Like Cabo can be. It's a very down-to-earth market. People want to be enjoying themselves, enjoying nature. So the pretty much the architecture we could see in the past here was very poor, right? Americans would come and they would build their houses, a little bodega here with a room, and so we wanted to make it very simple. We wanted to make it very accessible, very functional. Not so much about the sculptured house. It's more about the function of it. I
noticed that it's not ornamental, like what people kind of think about as maybe older school Mexican architecture or different things that when people from other areas came down, they tried to make it, pretty ornamental. Yours is very stripped down, modern, clean, but it really infuses a lot of those traditional Mexican elements.
It's 100% Mexican contemporary. We do take pride in our Mexican culture. We take pride in the Mexican architects that have been here in the past and serve as inspiration.
Yep.
The materials, we want to keep it local. Again, we want to support the community as much as we can. We try to keep everything in-house. We build the carpentry ourselves with carpenters living in the area in Todos Santos. All the pulido work is done by our guys that live in the area, our crews. So we want to support the community and keep the work and everything within Todos Santos, and not try to be sourcing out things from all over the place. So we focus a lot on that, like the stone work, the carpentry work, the pulido work. It's all done by people who live here, and by doing that, we're supporting the community economics.
Well, I would just like to add that I think also in the construction of the homes, they're very, I see, I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know if all architects do this, but Chino comes out to a plot of land without there being anything there, and he just walks around and walks around and walks around, and he has an app that shows him the sun, where it goes down, and he's looking at it and looking at it and going around in a circle, and that really kind of brings a product that adapts to not only the sunrise and the sunset, but also the wind. No, I mean here in the house we have the breeze of the ocean. No, and the house is focused in that direction. So we have a lot of windows to enable that breeze to come into the house. So the house is designed, to the point is designed to Baja. No, this house is not for the city in itself. No, it's designed for Baja. No, and uses its elements for Baja, and its functionality is for the.
Yeah, and I've heard that echoed from clients that I've brought to the home. They always kind of say, like, this home feels like Baja. Like, this home has the feel. Like, when I walk in here, I feel like I'm in Baja, and I think that's something that's hard to do, because I don't want to say so much, but some of the architecture we see now is a lot of, that could be in Miami Beach, that could be anywhere else in the world almost, but you guys, like when we talk about being rooted in community, you guys really are I think the architecture really does a great job of reflecting this region. Like you walk into this house, this is Baja, this is Todos Santos. That's the feeling that it gives you, inside, which is not easy to do. So
Yeah, we think that's part of the benefit of us living here. No, I mean, we talked about kind of building how we live. No, I mean, we build these houses thinking about if we lived in them, would they work for us? No, would they work for our lifestyle? So it's not just an architectural thing going up. It really has our houses have a whole soul, have a functionality, have an essence in itself. It's not just the inspiration comes from many different parts. It's not just architecture for it to look good. It really has all these different elements that come into play to create ultimately where's a house that then will create a home for somebody. No, I mean, we are very aware that we are building our memories in our homes. No, we've been incredibly fortunate to live here. No, and we are building our memories. And in some way, when we sell a house, we see that somebody's going to come into the house and they're going to build that memories. No, these bricks and mortar and landscaping, no, for somebody are going to mean a lot. No, they're going to mean a place where they're going to spend maybe the best years of their life. No, and we build the houses with that, and that's where we believe that we're incredibly careful with it. We're incredibly tough on ourselves as well. No, I mean, Gino and I listen to each other a lot, but we don't always see eye to eye, but we're always challenging ourselves, no, and to the point where we were talking about before, about listening to everybody, no, just not being humble enough to realize that everybody's information is worth it. No, everybody has a say on how a house should be. No, so yeah, that's
Really well said. I think also when Gino had mentioned contemporary Mexican or Mexican contemporary, I think it's really important to recognize that when they say they've kind of had they've lived here so they can incorporate the idea of Baja into their functioning houses. Having history with these guys and having sold their products before, they've incorporated that indoor-outdoor living style of Baja. If you look around here just at the landscaping and what they've done here, I think it's really important that a lot of times you don't get that translation. It's got to take you living here a while to recognize that. And you guys have incorporated that. So, and that actually shines. That I would say literally is kind of like the asterisk for you guys, is that you've done that. You've accomplished that through your product. I've if I ask both of you a question of why, you're able to tell me why you've done this. And that's important. It's super important for a buyer, for an agent, and to know what was the idea behind that. And you guys have accomplished that. Is there anything else that you guys would like to touch on about the house or CasaBaja, or just anything else that you guys would like to bring the point?
No, I guess just then I would do. Yeah.
I mean, just I guess I repeat myself, but to realize that it is a community effort. No, this house, I mean, Gino and I was one that built and put it together, but there was a lot of people that contributed in, and now in the process of selling it, you're involved, you're part of our team. No, and now we have the people behind the cameras, which you cannot see, they're part of the team. No, this is all of us together. No, and I think we love it like that. No,
and we wanna we always want to take a lot of pride in our work. And we take a lot of pride in the people involved in our work, and none of this would be available to us if it wasn't because of all the people involved, from you guys to the guy that set up the first brick in the house. So it's a teamwork, and CasaBaja, we call it a work group, because it's not samurai, it's everybody, right? It's the guy that helps us with the gardening, it's the guy that set up the first brick, it's you guys selling the house. So it's a community effort and a team effort, and we're happy to be part of the community and involve new people in the community in our houses.
We actually were almost going to pull up a fifth chair There's actually in the background, there's a gardener, I think his name is Jose, and Chino's like, come on over, let's, so they're actually really mean that. Tyson, did you want to?
Yeah, I think, I know we all love this area so much. That's why we're here. So, and I think for people who maybe haven't been to this area, haven't experienced Todos Santos, another question that I'm always interested, one of many, is if you guys were someone that hasn't been to this area, maybe has only visited it once, like how would you guys describe Todos Santos? And like, give me just a quick snapshot of like what your perfect Todos Santos day would look like. If you're just staying, right here within the community, what does a great day in Todos Santos look like for you guys?
There's many great days. Like I can't just say the one, right? Like you could be at the mountains and have a great day. You could be at the beach, or you could go to the restaurant. Like if I
do all three the same day.
If I think of tomorrow, what would be tomorrow is a Saturday. So a great day for me tomorrow would be to go for a hike with my kids and my wife, and then come back, go to Tiki's, have a nice shrimp burger, and then maybe go to your house and then have a beer, right? Like that would be a great day for me.
You just described kind of like the perfect Baja day, although I think Chino would actually say a little overhead and peeling would be.
That would be
Sam, what about your day? What would that look like?
Well, one thing I want to say about Baja is that it's not what you kind of expect. No, when you come here, it's so much better. No, and it gets so much better the more you're here. And there's so many things here that I was talking to a rancher the other day that's lived here for 30 years and has ridden his horse all over the peninsula. He will tell you that he hasn't done even 30% of the peninsula, no? And all of us, every week you find out about a new place to go kayaking, or a new place to go surfing, or a new place to go fishing, or a new restaurant, no? I mean, every weekend there's something to do. I mean, just to Chino's point, I was fishing last weekend, 2 weeks ago, we were kayaking. No, I mean, just 10 minutes away, no? And again, to point, no, I mean, we're it's just, anyway, there's just so much to do.
The outdoor activities, like even just literally staying within the realm of Todos Santos Pescadero, the outdoor activities and the hiking and biking that's come in this area has been amazing, right? The festivals, we've become this gastronomic town full of great restaurants, great taquerias. And I literally remember when, like, after 7 o'clock, you couldn't get dinner. I mean, it's just, it is pretty amazing, the evolution of a community, the good parts of it, and even the parts that oh, wow, I'm seeing growth, I'm seeing this. But essentially, I've been here, going on 24 years, and I still love this community, and I've seen it grow. So I agree with you. And the way Chino described that Saturday, it's like, other than going to Tyson's to grab a beer, I'm like thinking I'll do that tomorrow, But it's been a pleasure, guys. Having this interview with you, having this podcast. I just, Rare Conversations, you could see the podcast with the Chino and Sam, CasaBaja. You can see it on our website, Rare website. You could see it on YouTube video and Spotify. And I highly recommend that. This is one you're not going to want to miss, guys.
Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Tyson.
Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.